Good afternoon, you guys. Good afternoon. Happy 4th of July. Let me get my shirt straight. My shirt's, there we go. Happy day before Christmas. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Give everybody a minute to get up in here. Come on in. Hello, everyone. Looking at my my messenger, and you know how people stick you in those group messages, and then everybody responds. I always tell people, no, not even group messages. Those forward, somebody forwards you something in Messenger, and then they expect you to forward that same thing. No, this is when they get to my messenger. That's where forwarded messages come to die. That's where they die. I try to tell people that, but they still keep sending them to me. So whatever. Welcome, everybody. Come on in here. Give everybody about another minute or so to get up in here so we can get started. Those of you that are new to my channel, my name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt and believe that's just part of life. What's up, Best Version? What's up, Norvell Champion? Welcome. Yeah, it is Christmas Eve already, and I'm right here at the house. I'm not going out in that madhouse out there. Anyway, this is another video. Best Version be coming up with some good ones. Thank you, Best Version. I appreciate it. We're going to do 2 of them since they're so small. And anyway, I help people get out of debt by helping them recognize that they are in debt, but you have to be ready. Because what I do is, let's say, so to make sure everybody's clear, what I do is I help you get out of debt by paying off your debt. There is no other way to get out of debt. Okay. There is no other vehicle. There is no other magical pill. You know, you got to pay to get out of debt. You got into debt. You have to pay your way. You borrowed yourself into debt. You got to pay your way out of debt. Okay. There is no other option. Don't believe that there is, people taking student loan money and investing it. Hey, how about instead of paying off my student loans, how about I invest that money instead of paying off my student loans? How about I borrow some student loan money so I invest in the stock market? Like, here people, check it out. Here are people that have student loans that are older than the children, all of a sudden become master investors into the stock market. That doesn't even make any financial sense, but yet people do it every year. So this is if you're in your 20s and your 30s, hell, even your 40s, right? These videos that I'm going to show you today, this is what's going to be waiting on you if you don't pay off your student loans starting today. Okay? Starting right now. If you don't, there's no way to get rid of student loans. Okay? Student loan forgiveness programs, those are slave camps. Student loans survive each and every economic crash. They're like the cockroaches of the economy. No, student loans will survive each economy crash that happens. Okay, every time student loans will be waiting for you. There is no way out of them except death. And if you plan on keeping your student loans till you're dead, you will be a slave until you're dead. Okay, there is no other way. You must pay them off. And I keep reiterating this. If this is you, okay, I want you to, if you call in student loans or forever loans, or you believe that it's okay to carry student loans forever, this video that I'm going to critique, this is for you. This is what's going to be waiting for you. Imagine this. Imagine these videos that I'm about to show you guys. This is your future. Okay, we're going to look into your future. If this is you, you don't believe you'll ever be able to pay off your student loans, this is you. Okay, so we're going to get started here. Let me get these videos up. Get them prepped. Which one am I going to do first? I'm going to do this one first. Okay. Marketing lady. All right, let me get these videos. What's going on, best version? LJ, I'm studying the law of hypnotic rhythm. It ties into debt. Oh, the universal laws have the answer. It's some deep stuff. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. You know, you and I are on the same page. I really don't talk to too many people. You know how it goes. You don't really talk to too many people about the universe and what happens if you just say it. You know, people think you're crazy. That's not true or whatever, right? But you know, that's whatever. But I'm gonna check that out. I always look up stuff that you recommend. You know, because that's we're on the same page when it comes to talking about the universe. But let's get into this. Let me share the screen 1 second here. One second. All right. So again, this video is to give you guys, those that have given up on ever paying off their student loans. This is your future. I'm about to show you your future. It's waiting for you. These people, I guarantee you, the majority of these older people were thinking just like you. Oh, it's a forever. I'll pay it off later. I'll get to it. I'll get around to it. And then next thing you know, you wake up at age 60, 70, beyond your prime earning years, and then now you have $80,000 to $100,000 worth of student loan debt, and you're past retirement. This is going to be for you. All right. All right. Here we go. Here.
Nancy Couquet works at a community college in Maryland, coordinating technical education programs.
Let me start this over.
Nancy Couquet works at a community college in Maryland, coordinating technical education programs. She's worked in education most of her career and loves her job. But at 65 years old, she'd imagined retiring by now.
I can't afford to retire. I could never make the payments.
Payments for student loans she took out for her son, Andrew, about a decade ago. She pays around $500 a month on the nearly $75,000 she owes on loans she took out and others she co-signed with her son. By her math, she'll probably be paying on her loans alone for another 11 years.
$75,000. Not only did she have her own loans, she co-signed for her son's loans, and her son is obviously going to live longer than she is, but she co-signed for his loans.
Even if I started drawing on my retirement, and
like, for example, if she just did add up all her savings, add up all her debt, savings minus debt equals how much money she had in real life. If she would have visually saw that number, and then when it was time for her son to go to college, the best thing she could have did was just felt bad about not having money for him. And that's that. Okay, son, you got to figure it out because I'm broke. I have no money. But instead, she decided to go deeper in debt. That means she's going to die with debt. $500. Now, let me see. I don't know if they said how long she's had them. Let's see.
Social Security together.
Well, obviously, they're obviously older than her son because she's had them before her son was born, right? But think about it this way. Say like she had these student loans before her son was born. Okay, say like that. You mean to tell me over 25 years, let's say 30 years, she didn't make $60,000 or whatever her student loan debt was? Over 20 years, she didn't make $60,000? That's not true. The majority of people with student loan debt are choosing not to pay off the student loan debt. They're going to finance cars, houses, clothes, vacation trips, all that stuff.
I still wouldn't have enough monthly to make those payments. It's certainly not where I hope to be at this stage in life.
The number of Americans aged 60 and older with student loan debt quadrupled between 2005 and 2015 to nearly 3 million. And the average amount they owe has nearly doubled from about $12,000 to almost $24,000.
There's a number of factors that contribute to why the number of older borrowers is increasing.
Attorney Persis Yu directs the Student Loan Borrower Assistance Project at the National Consumer Law Center in Boston.
Student loans are structured to be paid over a very long period of time.
Yes, they are.
Have no statute of limitations,
Nope.
which means that they follow you.
Yes.
They can follow you till you die,
till
literally.
you're dead. Yes.
And so there are a lot of borrowers who are out there who still have their own student loan debts from the 70s, from the 80s.
I think the original.
Did you hear that? There are borrowers out there that have student loan debt since the 70s and 80s. If you don't believe you'll pay off your student loan debt, this is what's waiting for you. You can see your future right now. People think you need a crystal ball to look into the future. No, you don't. You just watch this video. This is your future. If you have student loans older than your children right now, this is your future.
It was like $27,000.
64-year-old Annette Pillais of Boston is still paying about $300 a month for the loan she took out 20 years ago to pursue graduate degrees in American Studies.
20 years ago, okay? You mean to tell me she didn't, out of 20 years, she didn't make it that much money to pay off that student loan debt? Say like her student loans were, what'd she say, 27,000, 30,000? You mean out of 20 years, she didn't make $30,000 in her whole career? That's slavery. That is slavery.
A loan she expects to be paying for another 10 years. She worked for nonprofits serving children and the elderly, but her income never reached the level she'd hoped.
I'm making now what I made in the 80s. I'm making about $42,000 a year.
So when you went back to grad school, you assumed you'd be making a lot more money than that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, if I was making that money with a bachelor's degree in the 80s, I assumed that.
See, and this is the natural track that everybody does. I almost fell into this track. You go to college, you get a degree, right? And then all of a sudden, instead of paying back your student loans, you go and start financing more stuff. And then you put yourself back into even deeper debt. And then you believe in your mind the only way out is to get a higher education, get a master's degree to make more money. Then that will help you out of debt. No, it's not. It's burying you deeper in debt. So people naturally go back to school, get another $30,000 or $40,000 in student loan debt, and it just continues and they never pay it off. You are a slave. If you have student loan debt, and you don't believe you'll ever pay it off, you are a slave, and this will be you at her age.
With a master's, I do a little bit better.
Folks with student loan debt typically save less than folks without student loan debt.
Now, see what she says? People with student loan debt save less than people without student. Of course, because they have no debt. If you have student loan debt, you can't save any money. Why? Because you have no money. There is no money to save.
And then once they're in retirement, if they are repaying loans, certainly that is a liability that they wouldn't otherwise have to pay for when they're on a fixed and limited income.
Because of her debt and the high cost of living in Boston, Pillais says she has little retirement savings. She recently retired but can't afford to keep living in Boston, so she moved to New Mexico, where it's cheaper to live. But even still, her expected $1,000 a month Social Security check won't cover her expenses.
Now, do you want to be that person at her age with $1,000 a month income? And then they take student loan debt out of that money? Oh my God, man. People, let me throw this up there. So this is a very good point. Norvell Champion says, like you said, LJ, people choose not to pay on student loans. I bet that woman took many vacations, financed several cars and a house, but chose to ignore her student loan debt. Exactly. That's exactly what happened, Norvell. Exactly what happened. People, because I don't believe somebody that has $30,000 in student loan debt, which keep it for 20 years, you're saying to yourself that you didn't make $20,000 in 30 years. That's not true. But then again, like I said, I have friends that have had their student loans for 15, 16 years, thinks nothing of it. Vacations, holiday trips, all that while having student loan debt. It'll be waiting for you at this age. And you're going to be looking back and say, damn, when I was in my prime making all this money, I could have paid that off. You sure could have. But you get in the trap like everybody in the debt matrix. That's why it's up to $1.6 trillion. You're part of that nonsense if you have student loan debt.
Rent will be $620 plus utilities. And then there's the school loan, and there goes $1,000. So I will be doing some part-time work.
How do you feel about that? I mean, is this what you pictured retirement?
Well,
being?
you know, at this point, I'm not so terribly concerned because I'm still young enough to do so. What concerns me is when I'm in.
You see what she said? Even at this age, she's still in denial about it. A lot of people are in denial about student loan debt, total denial. And she still believes at this age, she's not really that worried about it at her age. When you're in denial about your student loans, I'm going to tell you guys something so you can understand. They want you to be in denial about the student loan debt. Because when you pay on your student, imagine paying on student loans since your 20s, all the way up until you're dead. And then once you die, the loan is paid in full by the government. They cannot lose. They don't want you to pay off those student loans.
In my 70s or 80s, hopefully, if I get there, I may not be able to do that.
Like Palai's, 27% of older Americans with student loans borrowed for their own education. But most, more than 70%, borrowed for their children's or grandchildren's education. People like Nancy Couquet. Couquet, who's divorced, took out about $46,000 in her name and co-signed for around $34,000 more with her son Andrew, who graduated from the University of South Carolina in 2008.
I entered into that now, in hindsight, without nearly enough information, and didn't.
Now you hear her say she entered into the student loan without nearly enough information. She could have just looked back and found that she didn't pay off her own student loans and thought to herself, if I add on my sons, I'm going to be that much deeper in debt. No, son, sorry, I'm not going to do that for you. You're just going to have to be mad. You have to figure it out because I didn't figure it out. And I'm not going to go into deeper in debt for you to figure it out either. I'm not going to do that.
Didn't know what I didn't know about financial aid. It's vastly different from when I went to school. I didn't have to borrow to go to school.
Couquet obtained about half of the $46,000 she borrowed for her son's education through a federal loan program called Parent Plus.
Oh, God.
The number of Parent Plus borrowers has grown by 60% since 2005 to 3.
Look at that. 60%. Parent Plus loans have gone up 60%. And how many of those parents you believe already have student loans? They just see they're entering their feelings into their money. They feel bad that they didn't save enough money for their child. And guess what they do? They go sign up for more debt. I guarantee you like this. I guarantee you the people that are in denial about their student loan debt, they probably think like this. I'm going to die with it anyway. Why not just sign up for a Parent Plus loan? It's not going to be a big deal. And then they're going to die a slave. All the way to death. And then, at least my son will have a free education because the debt dies with me. What a way to live. What a way to live. And you're right. BK from the Rockies says an unbelievable amount of folks are in denial about educational debt. Unfortunately, yes. And that's exactly what they want you to be, in denial.
3.5 million Americans. The National Consumer Law Center says some families can borrow more than they can afford under Parent Plus because the program lets them borrow as much as the college says they need without verifying their income.
See what I'm saying? Without verifying their income. This is a business. This is a serious business. They allow you to borrow as much money as you wish, as the university says you need. And nobody ever questions. They're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go to this school. How much is it? Cool. Let me apply for this loan. All right, cool. They'll get it. Some people will go to school, get the money and leave and quit and then leave. They don't care if you do that. If this is you, especially if you're young and you're going in there and you think remember you're young, so you don't know yet. So you go in there, borrow the money and then quit school and take the money and go spend it on somewhere else. You're a slave now. You're not just going to borrow that money and walk away. I promise you, you're not. What's up, Hyphy?
School or the federal government seeing if the family can afford to repay this loan.
Is anyone along the way saying, hey, if you take out this amount of money, this is what it's going to mean for you? Is anybody kind of giving a warning to families?
So, there is some very minimal counseling that is required when folks take out federal loans. The other component is a lot of these families don't have a lot of other options because education is expensive. So a lot of families feel trapped and they feel like they have to take out this because they want to provide for their kids and they want their kids to have a better future.
And that's exactly what Nancy Couquet wanted for her son. She says she wasn't too worried.
That is all a facade. What's up, Mark? That's all a facade. See how they just draw you in, get your feelings involved. Oh, I didn't save for my kid. Well, I might as well go into debt for him. You better not do that. You just turn to your kid and say, sorry, son, daughter, I didn't have the money for you to go to college. Sorry. I wasn't responsible. Sorry. Nothing more than that. Just feel bad about it. At least you're not in debt and you'll die happy. You will die with no debt.
About Andrew's ability to pay off his loans once he graduated.
I kept telling him, and I thought this would be true, is this degree will give you a career that you can pay that off. Turns out not to be the case. He graduated in 2008 in the depths of the Great Recession, and jobs were hard to come by.
After graduating with a degree in sports management, Andrew has worked steadily, even taking on second jobs at night and on the weekends. But his earnings haven't been enough to keep up with the $400 and $500 payments on the roughly $45,000 he took out, so Nancy's been paying the loans she co-signed. I spoke to Andrew over Google Hangout.
I did not think that it would be this hard to pay student loans. I definitely went in to school thinking that I'll get a decent paying job.
Andrew recently landed a higher paying job and wants to help pay the loans his mom co-signed.
He landed a higher paying job and wants to help pay the loans that his mom co-signed. What do you mean help? It's your responsibility. You don't get to, hey, son, I'd be like, and even if that was me, which I would never do, I would never take out a Parent Plus loan for my kids. I would never do that. But if that happened, I'd be like, hey, son, you got a great job? Cool. Yeah, you can't finance a car. You can't you can't finance a house. You can't get married. You can't do none of that until the student loan's paid off. That's guaranteed. You're not doing anything until you pay the student loan off.
I don't want her to be suffering for it any longer than she has to.
Right.
Just for doing a nice thing and co-signing on a loan. Would I do it all over again? No. I would not do it again. I would stick around. I'd stay home for a couple years and go to a community college near my house.
In the meantime, Nancy says the loan payments are weighing her down.
It governs everything I do, every decision I make. It all revolves around making sure that I have that.
See how debt controls people's decisions. It controls where you're going to move, where you're going to live, what you're going to buy, what job you're going to take. People in debt don't even realize that's what it does. It controls your every move. All you do is thinking about money when you're in debt. It controls you, not even knowing. You can walk up to a person with student loan debt and say, hey, you know what? If you don't pay off that student loan debt, you'll die with it. People won't even care. Oh, it's in deferment. It's forbearance. I'm not worried about it right now. Okay. All right, slave. This is your future. This is your future.
That money to make that payment every single month.
Nancy has consolidated and gotten slightly lower interest rates on some of the loans, but she expects she'll need to work part-time after she retires. And she's also considering moving to Montana, where the cost of living is cheaper.
My life isn't going to be the way that I'd hoped that it would be. It just simply isn't going to be.
At this point, and you listen to these things, everybody with student loan debt can look into the future right now. They can look into the future. They can look into their own future right now. They can say, this is my student loan debt. If I don't pay my student loan debt off, it's going to be double 20 years from now. It's going to be double. Do I want it to be double? No. Then I better pay it off right now. But people don't even look at that. They just go on Facebook, look at everybody having fun, go on Facebook, look at all the Christmas presents under the tree. Everybody celebrating Christmas, but there's $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. 1.6 trillion. There's a lot of people out there pretending. And then when they come around to this age, then they turn back and say, oh man, I could have not taken vacation. I could have skipped a couple of Christmases. I could have not went on vacation for a few years and paid that debt off, period.
There's also this catch with federal loans and older borrowers who can't pay them off. The U.S. Treasury can garnish their Social Security benefits.
Ooh, did you hear that?
In fact, between 2002 and 2015, the number of Americans having Social Security, disability, and retirement benefits garnished because of unpaid loans increased almost 500% to 173,000.
Who do I go and get this money back from?
It happened to 55-year-old Manuel Roberts of Brooklyn, New York. He paid off most.
Now I want, because I watched this video, so I want you guys to see what happens, okay? See what happens with this guy, but I want you to see something major happen to his head, okay? Something major happened to his head, so listen closely to this.
All of the $13,000 he borrowed to attend the University of Southern California in the 1980s, but after
Wait, hold on, let me see how much he borrowed again.
On the
let me
last
see.
3,000.
Who do I go and get this money back from?
It happened to 55-year-old Manuel Roberts of Brooklyn, New York. He paid off most all of the $13,000 he borrowed to attend the University of Southern California in the 1980s.
Listen, you guys, are you hearing me? $13,000 in student loan debt he borrowed in the, what did it say, in the 80s? $13,000. So you telling me from then till now, he didn't earn $13,000? No, he just chose not to pay his student loan debt. These type of videos, they're just like Liang said, they're just trying to get you to feel and care when that has nothing to do with nothing. So you mean to tell me $13,000 since the 80s, you didn't earn that much money since that time? That's not true. That is so not true. But listen to the story.
But after losing a job, he defaulted on the last $3,000 and then sustained a severe head injury in 2002.
Then I was injured and street violence. I was a victim of a violent crime. I was in a coma for 2 weeks or so.
Roberts received Social Security disability checks for $1,300 every month, but the government began deducting $200 from every check for the defaulted loan.
I was already in a bad situation. It's plain to see they just made it worse.
The Social
They
Security
made it worse.
deductions pushed Roberts to the verge of the federal poverty line. It turns out there's a program for people disabled like Roberts to get their loans eliminated, but many people don't know about it.
So no one ever said, hey, we notice you're getting disability income. You might be also eligible for a disability discharge. This can stop.
No, it was never approached to me by anybody.
Robert's attorney helped him get the disability discharge and is also helping him and 6 people with similar stories.
Now, I want you to pay close attention to this story, okay? What they're doing is kind of like giving hope to people that they might get a chance to get their student loans discharged. But remember, you see his head? He damn near got it cracked open, and he only had $3,000 left out of his $13,000. So since he had his head cracked open and he had only $3,000 left, they forgave it like it's a big deal because of his disability. So now people that watch this video with hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, they're thinking that the same thing is going to happen for them, but totally forgetting that you got to damn near get in the same position. You got to be damn near your head cracked open, lose a leg, lose an arm for disability for that to ever happen. Why would you want that? Nobody wants that. Pay your student loan debts off.
Sue the heads of the Federal Department of Education, Treasury, and the Social Security Administration, alleging that they don't do enough to let people know about the disability discharge program.
I'm sorry, guys. I got to go back here.
Federal Department of Education, Treasury, and the...
We notice you're...
It was never approached to me by anybody.
Robert's attorney helped him get the disability discharge and is also helping him and 6 people with similar stories sue the heads of the Federal Department of Education, Treasury, and the Social Security Administration, alleging that they don't do enough to let people know about the disability.
Who are those people his lawyer is suing? Us. We are the public. He's not suing anybody. He's suing us. He's suing ourselves. It doesn't even make any sense.
Discharge program. The Federal Department of Education declined an on-camera interview with PBS NewsHour Weekend.
Of course, why? Why would they interview with you?
The Social Security Administration and the Treasury Department also did not comment. U.S. Senators Ron Wyden of Oregon and Sherrod Brown of Ohio are sponsoring legislation to eliminate the practice of garnishing Social Security benefits for unpaid loans. But The bill's gone nowhere so far.
It ain't going to go anywhere.
Nancy Couquet's Social Security checks won't be at risk because she keeps up with her monthly student loan payments. For other parents trying,
they said her Social Security checks will not be at risk because she keeps up with her student loan payments. Well, one day she's not going to be able to keep up with her student loan payments because she'll be too old. And guess what? They're going to come after her. Her Social Security checks. It's only a matter of time. If she's in student loan debt, she has no savings, zero. Even if she had $10,000 in the bank right now, it's really not there. She just believes it's there.
trying to figure out how to pay for college now, she has this advice.
I would strongly encourage them to become educated in every aspect of financial aid.
All you got to do is use basic mathematics that we all learned in grade school. I'm not against student loans, but use basic math. If you're young and you need student loans to go to college, use student loans to go into college. But as soon as you graduate and land that awesome job, you continue to live like a college student until every single dime of that student loan debt is paid off. And then you can be free as you want, but don't start anything until every single penny of that student loan debt is paid off.
Talk to the college financial aid people. I didn't do that. That's a huge mistake. I made assumptions that turned out not to be true. And just, mine is a cautionary tale.
Okay, so we got one more. I'm gonna put on one more. This is just crazy, man. This is just so crazy. So crazy. All right, let me get this other one up here. Is it that one? Yeah. All right, here we go. Here's another one. For those of you that believe student loan debt is a forever loan, I'm showing you your future right now.
We turn now to our series on America's student debt crisis. 60 and older are struggling to pay an estimated $86 billion in student loan debt. They are racking up student debt faster than any other group. Mark Strassman has more in our Eye on America series, Life and Debt.
I'm 76, going on 77 soon. This is a mountain that I will never be able to climb. I am terrorized. The truth is, it's a terror.
We met Serafina Galante on the campus of San Diego State.
And is it fun to be back?
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
She got her master's degree in her late 50s here. 19 years later, she still owes almost $40,000 in student.
19 years later. You mean to tell me 19 years later she didn't earn that amount of money that she took out in student loan debt? She didn't earn that? No, she spent it on other things, financing cars, houses, vacation trips. That's slavery. If you didn't earn that much money through all those years, that's slavery.
Student loans. More than 3 million people over 60 have student debt. Some went back to school late, others paid for kids and grandkids.
I was very confident that I would pay it back in, due time.
What's not working?
We grow older and then we get more senior. That's reality of life. How is your well-being? How are you doing?
Galante works as a family counselor. She has to work. The hole she's in keeps getting deeper. She showed us what went wrong.
So there's the payment amount, the applied to principal,
Which is zero. And look at 0, 0, 0,
Yes.
0, 0, 0, 0. It's almost all
it's
interest.
almost all, right.
Raise the left hand.
Galante had to pause making payments 4 times for various life problems. But the bigger issue, she got older. She can only work part-time. Her monthly payment, $176, is income-based and doesn't even cover the interest.
Hard for you to wrap your head around that.
I don't see the justice or even the logic.
She had to pause her payments 4 times. 4 times. She had to pause her payments 4 times. What that means is put them in forbearance, whatever those words are called, right? and paused them for 4 times. Who knows how long she paused them? Everybody that paused them, they usually go the whole length of the 6 months or 8 months or however it is. And then the interest keeps accruing.
It's not going to reduce ever. And the emotional part of it, that it's there, that it's always going to be there.
40% of Americans 65 and older with student debt are in default, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB. And Washington will collect by garnishing the Social Security of seniors in default.
The fastest growing segment of student loan borrowers are actually older Americans.
Seth Frotman, a student debt expert, used to work at the CFPB.
They will literally seize your Social Security benefit.
So the choice could be between paying off the student loan and eating,
Or keeping your house over your head, you name it.
and that's not overly dramatic.
It's not overly dramatic at all. Because of student loans, we are literally driving tens of thousands of older Americans into poverty.
Galante's
Because of student loan debt, we're driving people into poverty. That's not true. They're not making anybody get those student loans. They're not forcing anybody to go and sign out that much in student loan debt. They didn't force me. They didn't force me to sign up for student loans. They didn't force me to keep mine for 10 years. They did not force me to do it. But you see the way these videos make it sound like it's some kind of entity that's making people go poor, making people go broke. No, it's you. It's you. If you keep your student loans longer than you went to college, it's you. And Hyphy says, damn, they couldn't make 40K in 19 years. Yes, she did. She made 40K. She just chose not to put that 40K on her student loan debt. I guarantee you, she financed everything, vacations, kids, Christmas, birthdays, whatever holiday comes up, everybody will spend. All you got to do right now, go outside right now, go to a store right now. Go see how crowded the stores are right now. You would swear nobody is in debt. Nobody has student loans. Most of them are choosing not to put that money on student loans. That's all.
scared of becoming one of them.
This is going to follow you forever.
This will follow me to my grave.
Yes.
Serafina Galante has spent a lifetime helping others. She could use a little help herself. Mark Strassman, CBS News, New York.
Tomorrow, in part 3 of our
Oh, wait a second.
series, Mark looks into a federal student loan forgiveness program. Many
Oh,
borrowers
God.
say makes empty promises of debt relief. We turned out
I tell you. You see that? Now, if you are in your 30s right now, if you're in your 30s, if you're in your 20s, if you're about to go to college, if you don't want that to be you, if you don't want to be on a CBS special talking about you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, talking about you still have student loan debt, if you don't want that to be you, pay your student loan debts off today, starting right now. Look at that. Mark's right. Paying on interest this long down, this is crazy. Exactly. And she's looking at her. She's like, oh, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Zero to principal. You zero to principal, zero to principal. That's a problem? You don't like that problem? Pay that debt off. And then none of that will be that's not my problem. $1.6 trillion in student loan debt, that has nothing to do with me. Nothing. The only reason why I still know about it because I talk about it. But outside of that, I don't care. Whatever. I had mine for 10 years. I got tired of having them, so I paid them off. Mark says it's all a choice. It sure is. R. Carp says 4 breaks in a 19-year period still doesn't justify paying $14K. Exactly, man. It's all a choice, people. I remember one time I was talking to a dude and we was talking about getting out of debt, right? And I said, hey, man, so what's up with that student loan debt? Oh, man, F that student loan, man. They ain't getting that money. They ripped me off. I'm thinking, why are you getting mad? I don't get it. A person that gets mad over student loan debt, I always think to myself, why are you getting mad over student loan debt? I don't get it. That's not going to change anything. You're still a slave. And so when I see people with years of student loan debt trying to do other things, open other things, doing things like that, I'm thinking, why are you doing that? You're not, that money that you're using to open up whatever you're trying to do or invest in, it's not even there. It doesn't even exist, because money doesn't exist for people who are in debt. It doesn't even exist. I always tell people this: add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. If that number is in the negative, money doesn't exist for you. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. Oh, I don't believe that's true. That's okay, whatever. And I just turn to him and say like this, but is my math right? Well, yeah, your math is right, but I still don't believe that that's true. Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy to be financially free. You guys have no idea. To have no debt, to have no student loan debt. Student loan debt is the worst. People are paying in their retirement. Look at these old people. And I know young people look at the old people and say, oh, that's so far away. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's exactly what those old people said. Oh, that's so far away. And then next thing you know, they're 60 and 70 years old talking about talking about student loan debt is bringing them down. It's nobody's fault but their own. You can't blame anybody. The economy, whatever, especially if you have, say like you had $20,000 in student loan debt, but you kept it for 20 years. You mean to tell me you didn't make $20,000 in 20 years? That's not true. And don't when you guys see these old people like this in these particular situations, I want you to also think about this. When you drive by on the street, because news will fool you. Like when you see homeless people, the news will portray it like as if everybody that's homeless is on drugs. That's not true. That's not true. I guarantee you a lot of them are out on the streets because of financial situations. Do you believe there's homeless people with college degrees? Yeah, there's people with college degrees that are homeless. Yes, that's true. There are homeless people with student loan debt. Yes. It's up to you if is that going to be you? The only difference between the homeless and people with mortgages, the homeless know they're not homeowners. People with mortgages believe they're homeowners with student loan debt. So imagine this, and this happens all the time. All you got to do is go on Facebook and check it out. Go on Facebook and see somebody that you know buying a brand new home or financing a home, and you know they got student loan debt. Now look at the price of the home and add it to their student loan debt. That's how much debt they're in right now. But yet they don't even think about the student loan, and they believe they're homeowners. And then they wake up at 70, 65, 70 years old, getting interviewed by CBS talking about student loan debt is burdening me. This is why I do what I do. People get me confused, and I always have to reiterate this. People get me confused with credit fixers. I don't fix your credit. I don't. What I do will improve your credit, but my main goal is not to fix your credit. My main goal is to get you out of debt. And to get you out, in order to get you out of debt, you must know that you're in debt and how much you're in debt. The majority of people have not a clue of how much debt they're in. The majority of people believe they'll never pay off your student loan debt. If this is you and you don't think you'll ever pay off your student loan debt, well, you'll never be able to feel what I'm trying to describe to you. I'll give you a little slight feeling, an imagination of how it feels for me every day. Add up all your debt in your head right now. Add up every single penny. Okay. Now imagine if some rich person came and wrote you a check to pay off every single dime of your debts. Yes, including the mortgage, student loans, collections, all that stuff, right? Imagine how would that feel? How would that feel for you? How would that feel? Would it feel wonderful? You'd be free to do anything you want, right? Yes. That's what it feels like to have a net worth of zero. Not $1 million, not $1 billion, not $1 trillion, a net worth of zero. Now, if you paid your debt off and got a net worth of zero, and you go back and tell somebody in the debt matrix, hey, check it out, my net worth is zero, they would look at you like, oh, you're broke. They have no idea that they're in debt. They have no idea. Oh, he's bragging about having a net worth of zero? Yes. Yes, I am. What about you? How much is your net worth? They'll add up all the stuff with their name on it and the bank's name on it. They always include things with their name on it and the bank's name on it. If it's yours, why is the bank's name on it? They won't have an answer for you. What's up, Leroy? Hello, Reese. Welcome. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let me put my here's my website. If you free 30-minute consultation, go to my website, click on book now. Okay, book a free consultation, and please be sure to specify your time zone. Much appreciated. Okay. Any questions while I'm up here? Any questions? Leroy says, "Hey LJ, saw a guy today with a new saw a guy today with a new iPhone 11. Asked if he paid cash for it. He said no, he financed it." See how they say it openly? Leroy, that's on purpose. I want you guys to understand this. When you get out of the debt matrix, right, and you come on this side, the business side, the system is feelingless. You get to choose which side of the system you get on, right? You get on this side. This is why they're jacking up the price of cell phones. They're making them beyond reach of paying cash for most people in the debt matrix. I mean, I'm not in debt, but I would never pay a full price for a cell phone brand new. I would never do that. Never. I would just wait a year or two and buy a refurbished off of Amazon for cash. But people do that. People in the debt matrix don't realize they're in debt. And what do? Finance a phone. Now financing phones have become normal for people in debt. And when you get out of debt, hey, invest in phone companies. Invest in credit card companies. Invest in student loan carrier places like Navient and all that stuff. Invest in that is forever money. Invest in things that you know people are not going to stop doing. They're never going to stop using credit cards. This is why my business I will do this until I'm dead. You know why? Because there will always be people in debt. There will always be people in debt. And the wonderful thing about my business, I'm only using basic math. I'm only using basic math. And this is what I'm finding, you guys. This is what I'm finding. I'm finding that I'm going to have to like go up on my prices, okay? Because it's going to weed out the people that are not serious. If I keep it at a certain price point, the people that are not serious, they're going to look at their price and say, "Oh, that's too expensive. I'm not going to do it." That's exactly the person I don't want. That's exactly who I don't want. I only want people that are serious. I don't want people coming to me and say, "Hey man, can you improve my credit score?" No, you got the wrong person. Not me. I don't do any of that. Hyphy said, "Did you accomplish your last minute shopping mission?" Yeah, I did. And check it out. Funny story, Hyphy. Check this out. And everybody in this room, I want you guys to listen to this. So I'm at the cash register, okay, paying for my items. The lady at the cash register says, "Hey, would you like to donate to St. Jude's, right?" I said, "No." Okay, and then so we keep on going. Then she's like, "Okay," and let's say like the stuff came up to $6.40 or 50 cents, right? She said, "Would you like to round it up to $7 and donate to St. Jude's?" I'm thinking in my head, did you just ask me that twice? No. And then she goes, "You sure you don't want to give it to the kids?" I said, "No. I know what you're trying to do, lady, trying to make me feel like I feel bad for not donating so the people in line can hear me say I'm not donating. I just feel like saying, hey, lady, I'm debt free. I don't care. I don't put feelings in my money." No, I said it loud too. So everybody in line can hear me. The next register over can hear me. They clearly hear me say no. I wanted to tell her that, hey, I'm not. I get up to the register. Also, I'm supposed to know about where I'm donating this money and to who in the few minutes where I'm trying to get my items and get out of here. I don't do none of that. You gonna do it for the kids? No. I'll donate who I choose to donate, not who you try to force me to donate or pressure me into donate. No, sir, ain't doing none of that. So Hyphy, yes, I got my little bit done and I got out of there. I wouldn't dare go out today. Snuggle says I owe $1,000 and they settled with me for $500. You talking about a collection? Are you talking about a collection, Snuggles? Because that's how it usually works. Because they know if it's in collection, they'll be lucky to get the money. And so somebody comes up to them with half the money, they're taking it. Any other questions? I'm gonna cut this off in about 10 minutes, you guys. I got an hour. My girl went out. My lady went out to get a couple things, and I told her I wasn't gonna be on here for a few hours, but I wanted to make a video to show your future if you don't pay off your student loan debt. Yeah, collections. I figured that. Great job, Snuggles. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You call them and say, hey, I got half. You want to take half? No? Okay, well, I'm going to go down to the list and see if another one of my collection people want this money. They're going to say, whoa, okay, hold up. Don't be so rushy. Y'all take it. I know you will. All right, let's get it going. Get that off. Any other questions, you guys? Any other questions? Thank you, everyone who follows me. I appreciate it. Thank you all to my new clients. It's starting to pick up more. All right, it's starting to pick up more. And you know what I'm loving, man? I'm getting the serious people. No matter how much debt they're in, especially student loan debt, I give them hope. Okay, because when I get clients that are deep in student loan debt, I really feel for you guys. I do, man. When I hear those numbers, and the reason why the way it feels, especially when you become debt free, like since I've become debt free, I have no debt. It's a certain type of feeling. It's undescribable. And if you've been in debt all your life, you'll never know this feeling until you become debt free. And then when I hear that amount of student loan debt and know that there is no way to get out from under it unless you pay it off, I really feel for those clients. I really feel for those people. Because I know what that's like, man. You got to do whatever it takes. And the main thing, the hardest part is this. It's going to be to ignore society. You must ignore people in the debt matrix because they're going to think you crazy. They're going to think, oh, why are you going to do that? You're going to die in debt anyway. Who cares? Don't worry about it. It'll be paid off when you die. You just hear them saying things like that. Do not listen to people like that. They're slaves trying to get you to stay slaves with them. Misery loves company. Don't ever do that, ever. Yeah, you see that, Snuggles? Hyphy's right. I hope you got that in writing. Snuggles. Please tell me you did that. Yeah, Snuggles, do it anyway. Exactly. Do it anyway. And make sure when you pay off those collections, man, get that in writing. And when you pay them, do not give them access to your bank account. Don't do that. You get a prepaid card, give them those numbers, and that's that. I Aspire says crazy thing is they have the right to go after 100%, but they only pay. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, talking about collections. They only pay 7 cents on the dollar, right? 7 to 10 cents on the dollar, but they have the right to get the whole bunch, get the whole amount. All they got to do is just scare somebody into paying the whole amount, and then they'll get it. But just like that's why they'll settle for half, because they got it to 7 cents on the dollar. That's it. I Aspire is correct. There's ways to do it, man. If you guys in debt, I know it's emotional, and I know it makes you nervous it scares you. Debt can be overwhelming. And when you got a large amount of student loan debt, it looks like it's impossible to pay off. What's up, Nicer? Hello. It's impossible to pay off, but it's not. If you look at that student loan debt as the cost of your slave papers, if you ever want to be free, you want to own, like, imagine your Social Security card is your slave papers. Okay. You want to own your Social Security card. You must pay off the debt. You must pay off the debt. When you get out of debt, I promise you this. You will kill it in the money game. You'll kill it in anything to do with finance. You will kill it. You will know how to weed out the fakers, business side, personal side. Anybody I do, like, for example, anybody I do any kind of financial business with, I'm asking to see their personal credit report first. That's a requirement. I don't care if they like it or not. Who cares? I don't care if the question's uncomfortable. Who cares? That's business. So the answer is no? Okay, then we're not doing business, period. I don't care what they drive. I don't care what kind of watch they have. I don't care what kind of clothes they wear. I don't care what kind of business they own. I don't care what kind of, what area of town they live in. I don't care. Let me see your personal credit report, because it will never lie. People in debt only speak debt. So they're only going to do things, make money moves that only debt people do, because that's all they know. They have no idea the language of debt free even exists. No clue. That's the up you will have. That's the one up you will have on the majority. 85% of Americans are in debt. And you're not. I'm not in debt. I'm free. I'm free as a bird. The only thing on my mind right now is how to become a millionaire. That's it. And then from a millionaire to a billionaire. There is no limit. Once you get out of debt, you will clearly see there is no limit. You'll be freer than you ever have in your life. This is, again, I want to reiterate one more time, okay? What I do is help people get out of debt. Okay? That's what I do. I listen to you. That's what the consultation's for. I listen to where you're at, because when you're in debt, the best way I can describe it is this. When you're in debt, you speak a certain way. Okay? You don't know you're speaking a certain way, but you're speaking a certain way. You're speaking debt. And I listen to you, and then I just point out the things. I fine-tune your financial life and say, hey, you just do this and you'll be free. And check it out. So say like a person decides to get my $3.99 package, right? And I find that they have been paying over $100 a month for their cell phone bill. That's $1,200 a year. Okay, we're just talking about one thing. That's $1,200 a year. I have a way to get that to half price or half that amount, and have the exact same service that they have right now. There is no difference, but $600 difference. That alone paid for my service, and that's only one of the things I help people with. That's one. That move alone helps them pay back the service, pay back the money they invested in me to invest in them. That's it. Just one. That's it. Best Version says, I saw a documentary where a person had 15 payday loans. Oh, woo. Best Version, when I hear that kind of stuff, man, I feel for those type of people. I do, man. I feel for those type of people. They don't know us. They wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even drive on a payday loan parking lot. And Best Version, payday loan places, that's the old way. The new way is installment loans online. They don't even have to go anywhere. It's like the Uber of payday lending. You can do it right at your home, right at home in the convenience of on your couch, and get in debt. Speedy loans. It's like check it out. I was listening to Dame Dash the other day, right? He said this. He goes, he says, you ever notice like businesses that use gimmicks to sell their product? When you make a good product, like I consider my product is good. It will last the length of time, right? But when you don't have good product, you have to use gimmicks. So when you like, there's a video out there, a commercial out there, some kind of fast, speedy loan, something where this guy is dressed up like a Superman or something, right? And he's giving out loans, speedy loans or something like that, right? That's a gimmick. Why do you think that gimmick is there? Because of the product he's selling. The product he's selling is no good. That's why they use gimmicks. Never forget, when Dame Dash said that to me, that makes total sense. They use gimmicks to sell their product because their product is no good. When you got good product, you don't need gimmicks to sell it. You ever see you ever see a Gucci commercial using a Superman character to sell some of their purses? Why? They don't need to do that. Fasting is Life says, I have one credit card with a zero balance. Same here, Fasting for Life. I have one credit card that I pay off every single month. People think, oh, Linnell, you against credit cards? No, no, they're a tool. When I look at a credit card, it's like a lawnmower, a hammer, light bulb, tires, whatever. It's a tool. Best Version says, yeah, I heard earning will give you up to $500 payday advances for users who use the app a lot. You know what else? Best Version, didn't you see my earning app the other day? Guess what the earning app does too? They have a tipping feature. Yeah, they will let you borrow up to $500 a week, but if you don't tip, they will only let you borrow up to like $200 a week. So as long as you're tipping for them to give you loans advanced loans against your own money. They got people thanking them that they're digging them deeper in debt. The earning app is giving people the shovel to dig themselves deeper in debt, and they're tipping them for it. Whoever came up with that earning app is brilliant. Brilliant. That person will be able to retire in 1 year and never work another day in their life off of one app, because they take advantage of people who are in debt. And they're not really taking advantage of them, because if you just did basic math, you would clearly see to never finance anything less than a house, anything. Because each time you finance something, you're being double taxed. You finance a car, it's the car plus tax. Since you didn't have the money, that's why you're financing a car. You have to finance the taxes too. That's double taxed. People in debt. You see how I said that? You can walk up to a person that finances cars on the regular and tell them that. They won't even hear you. Know why? Because they only speak debt. They don't understand the language of debt free. This is real. This is real. Fasting is Life says, that's how I know they're lying when salesmen try to explain why I should buy their products. Let the products sell themselves. Exactly. And Dame Dash said it. He said it perfectly. That's why they're using gimmicks. Look at commercials. Commercials, when I watch as a debt-free man, commercials are insulting. Are they? When I see a commercial on TV, I rarely see them, but when I have to see them, I ask myself, who are they selling to? Kids or adults? Geckos walking around. They got dogs driving cars, having dogs acting like they're picking stuff, and people believe it. Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna buy that. Why? Because of the cute dog? Because of the Superman? See what I'm saying? That's how that's the crowd they're looking for. Go to the military first. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Best Version says PayPal credit cards now, and they offer loans. Oh, I know. Every time I log into my PayPal account, Best Version, they're business loans, credit loan. They try to automatically send me some kind of PayPal debit card. I had to get online and tell them no, else they was going to automatically send it to me. What do you mean? I didn't request that. You see what I'm doing? See what they're doing? They automatically send them just so you'll get it and spend the money and get charged whatever fees they got associated with that card. Believe it, it's not free. They're not sending out free cards for nothing. Fasting is Life. I hate commercials too. I always put them on mute. And when they come on, if I'm never watching regular TV, I rarely watch regular TV, but there are a few programs. about one or two that I do watch on TV, or if I'm down in the living room. But other than that, if I'm down in the living room, I put it on mute because I can't take it. I mean, once you're out of debt, you will clearly see how much you're being sold to every single day. TV, radio, internet. I mean, it's nonstop. Best version says people are hypnotized by debt and think it's normal. They are in the hypnotic rhythm of debt. They sure are. But hey, best version, that's how it must be. The system would not work if the majority of people were not in debt. This is how it must be. It's a necessary evil. Nicer says, I noticed that with the Gecko commercials. Oh, I noticed that with the Gecko commercials. So easy a caveman can do it. Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought the caveman commercials were funny. I can't gonna lie. I thought they were funny, right? But listen, it didn't make me buy the insurance, right? And you think about, watch commercials now. They don't even talk about the product. They just make the commercials funny. Like that one, what's that? Who's it? What insurance company it is with the lady? She's always they walking out the cornfields. God, no, that's not Allstate. It's an insurance, right? That one lady, I forgot her name, but there's a commercial where they're walking out like people of the corn or something like that. Nothing to do with the commercial, nothing. Mark says, every time I see commercials, I just shake my head. They've got people trapped in tomfoolery. Exactly. But remember, Mark, when you go into your own business, you gotta do the same things that the big boys are doing. Hyphy says, yeah, PayPal keeps calling me to give me a $25K worth of capital loan. No, thank you, PayPal. Exactly. They're trying to get you into debt so bad. I mean, it's business. I'm not hating on PayPal. I'm not hating on any business that's trying to sell people stuff. I'm not hating on that. What I'm saying is this: you get out of the debt matrix and you learn from the big boys. Fasting is life says, I don't have TV or sofas because I'm never home and don't have visitors. I heard that, man. I heard that. TV. I just watch internet TV, things on YouTube and stuff like that. But regular TV, I do love Judge Judy, though. I love Judge Judy. Okay, that's one of my shows, all right? Keep that between us, though, okay? Oh, progressive, you're right. Fasting is life. That's progressive with that lady on there, right? They don't even talk about the insurance. They just half man, half motorcycle, fires. It's just the stupidest nonsense, but it works. It works. Lottery Guru says, LJ, I have a situation. I give money to my mom weekly. She's very ungrateful. Now she's trying to guilt trip me to give her more money, and I can't afford to do it. What do you recommend? Say no. Say no, Mom. Tell her no. Say, no, Mom, I have no money. Don't even make it overcomplicated. Say, no, Mom, I have no money. That's it. I know it seems like, oh, man, that's hard to do. No, it's not. If you really don't have any money, you tell the truth. I have no money. Fasting is life says, my family complains why, but I told I don't need stuff. I'm not, you must have didn't finish what you're saying there. I don't give them. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm with you now. I don't need those stuff. Just please other. I don't need those stuff just to please other people. I don't please nobody. Fasting is life says, I don't give my mom money, just gifts if I want to. That's how you do it. All right, you guys, we're going to wrap this up here. My woman just got home. It's been an hour. You guys have a wonderful Christmas Eve. That's why people stay broke. Broke people don't ask for financial assistance. They sure don't. Hey, Ivy, you're right. Broke people don't ask for financial assistance. All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
Merry Christmas.
Say, come here. Say hello to everybody.
My hair is in the way.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna wrap this up here. It's been an hour. You guys have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow. I thank you all for following me. Much appreciated. And I look forward to look out for the next live broadcast. It won't be tomorrow. Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful day.